right, welcome back. My name is Steven Aldaco, and today we're going to give you a tour of this super sick Ford Transit medium roof build. So before we get into the tour, I have to give a very quick shout out to the National Parks NFT community, as well as Recreate Outdoor, which is the rental van company, which let me borrow this super sick build for me to show to you all, and as well just to enjoy here in Sequoia National Park. So a huge shout out to them. Let's take a tour. So first, let's take a look at the exterior of the van. It is actually very stock. Everything about the exterior appears to be stock, which is great if you're going to be doing any sort of stealth camping with this van. So this is the Transit 350 XLT, which means it's going to be able to hold the most payload. But this build is pretty minimal. I don't think it weighs all that much, but it's nice that it is a 350. So if you're carrying a lot of gear while you're borrowing this van, you don't have to worry about that. And it also has a little tow hitch in the back. So if you're planning on bringing like a bike rack or any sort of gear, you can definitely tow it with this vehicle. The exterior of the van is very clean. There's no bumps or dings or anything like that. So it's really nice to see that from a rental van. The moment you're all been waiting for, let's hop on the inside of this van. So like I mentioned earlier, this is the passenger variation of the van. So because of that, we're still going to have the AC unit that's hooked up. So if you turn the van on, you can run the AC, no problem, and you can keep it very, very cool in here, which is an awesome, awesome feature. If for whatever reason you don't want to run the engine of the van, you could also have this really nice fan, which is mounted onto the bed frame here, and that's super awesome for those really, really hot days. And the other great thing about this fan is that it's powered by this external little power outlet here, which is hooked up. And this little power outlet has two USB ports, and it's a simple on and on switch, and all the cables are running into the back to an external battery, which connects to the alternator, which runs while you're charging, which is awesome. In addition to that, you also have this beautiful butcher block countertop right here, and this has a foot pump with a sink, and the sink is actually pretty deep, so you can definitely do a little bit of dishes in there or brush your teeth. Speaking of brushing your teeth or getting ready for the day, there's also this really handy little mirror here. It looks like it was from a car or something like that, but it's big enough to do what you got to do, and it's been really handy. And the nice thing about this too is that it's mounted onto the bed frame, so you don't have to worry about it going anywhere. In addition to that, you also might have noticed, see how the bed frame, it's kind of metal, it comes right here, there's a fan, but then there's also these really handy hooks. So you can hang up your wet clothes, or you just want to let something dry for a little bit, you can do that. So here's the sleeping area, and the bed is about 4'10" across, and it's about 6'2" going top to bottom. And what they included here is super nice. So you have your option of like this kind of wool blanket, and this is a weighted blanket, or just some sheets if you want to rest in some sheets if it's a hot day. And what's really cool is that on each side here, you'll see that there's a little bit of a light. So if you want to read your book or whatever, you can do that at night. And there's also this really handy mount for your phone. So if you want to like just mount your phone here for the night, or if you want to watch a movie while you're just about to go to bed, you can do that on either side, which is awesome. As far as privacy is concerned, we have these really, really nice fabric window shades, and they simply untie like this, and they go all across here, and they're blackout curtains, so you really cannot see anything when you're looking in, even though there's just windows on the outside. So as far as headroom is concerned, I'm about 5'10", and I'm just touching the very top of this here. So if you're any taller than that, you're definitely gonna have to like shorten your neck down a little bit, but it's really not too bad. The disadvantage, of course, with the mid-roof is that your standing height's a little bit lower, but the advantage is your gas mileage is a lot higher. So pros and cons, it's a tough decision if you're like in the market for a van, but if you're about 5'8", 5'9", you might be able to get away with just having the medium roof van. On this side of the van here, we have a very simple bench, and this bench can be easily removed in and out. And what's nice is when you rent this van, they ask you, how many people are you bringing? Because they have the attachment points to add in multiple seats. So you can add in 2 more passengers back here, including the driver
and the passenger.
So this here is the ARB fridge. It's super big. I think it's 35 quarts or so. Cup holders up top, and in here there's plenty of storage space. So this is actually a fridge freezer, so the bottom level can be a freezer and the top portion can be a fridge if you like. I just have it set for fridge, and yeah, it's worked out really great, and it was able to cool in just a few minutes after I turned it on.
Up here you also have those really nice curtains which kind of just live up here, and then when you're ready to go to bed, you close out the blackout curtains and you really can't see anything from the outside. And then up here, I thought this was really handy, especially here in Sequoia. This is a mosquito net, so you can put that across here or in the back, and the mosquitoes won't get into your van, which is really nice. So one more thing here, underneath the van, there is a ton of storage space. So you have storage space for whatever you want to bring, all of your luggage. And then underneath here, there's 3 shelves, which are mostly empty, and you can kind of store whatever you want underneath there. So there's plenty of storage space for all of your gear. So here is the foot pump, which controls this little spigot here. And this is what I wanted to show you earlier. It's the gray and clean water tank. So all of your plumbing is in there, no problem. You don't have to worry about it. You just let it run through the sink and you're good to go. So let's head out to the garage of this van. It's super nice. So like I mentioned earlier, this is the Transit 350 model, and the 350 model allows you to take more payload with you. So if you stuff a bunch of heavy gear in there, it's not really gonna weigh down this van. Let's take a look at the garage area. And Ford has these really nice locks, so you can lock the doors in place so they don't go anywhere. They also have the option for the 270 doors, which go all the way to the back. These are not that, but that's okay. So underneath here, this is what comes supplied with your van. So this is towels, I believe. So you got a bunch of towels for whatever you're gonna do with that. This really nice table. So if you're gonna cook out, if you don't have like a bench like we do here, you can use the table. And then this is the Coleman 2-burner stove. And I've been using this a lot to cook, and it's a really nice stove. It's better than the one I have, and it's done the job extremely well. So I may have to upgrade my stove to this one when I get back home. In addition to that, it has a 3rd burner in the middle. So if you want to do something that's going to take up both plates, or if you have a big hot grill, you can do that with this. We've got 2 camping chairs, and in addition to that, this is the cooking setup here. So this cook setup comes with everything you need. It's got pots, pans for 4 people, coffee cups, French press. So everything you need to cook all in this one little compact space. I love that it's all in here, and then when you want to wash dishes, you can wash dishes on the inside, which is spectacular. Absolutely love that. So as you can see, there's a ton of extra space here. So if you want to throw in some inflatable kayaks, or I don't know, whatever you're gonna bring, paddle boards, skateboards, a bunch of camping gear, it can all fit in here, no problem. And I really like this back area here, just to leave it open. So if you're just taking a rest up here, you can just enjoy the beautiful views that are out here. So let's talk about this bed frame a little bit. It looks like it's made out of steel, which is really, really strong. And it's welded across here for structural support. And then there's additional crossbars, maybe 2 or 3 going back. In the middle, there's a little bit of wood to divide the 2 spaces, which is really a good idea to save on weight instead of having a big giant steel beam running across. This mattress, very comfortable. I slept like an absolute baby, and I did not want to wake up this morning. But this appears to be 4 or 5 inches of foam, memory foam, I assume, because it was so comfortable. So it looks like we have this steel framing again, and then underneath, and then behind that we have some plywood, which works as support for the mattress, and it feels very, very strong and supportive. So that's the back of the van, and I just want to answer a few questions I'm sure that some of you might have when renting this van, or if you're going to rent any van of this caliber. The first thing is the gas mileage. So I really tried to baby it on the way here, and we got about 16.5 miles per gallon. And that's loaded as it is here with the bed frame and everything like that. If you have more gear, obviously that's going to affect that. I was able to get that much miles per gallon because I really kept my speed around 60, 65, sometimes 70. If you're driving kind of like normal speed, 80, I expect to see a significant decrease in your miles per gallon, probably getting around the 15 range with this setup here. Now, as far as just driving this thing around town, it feels like a big minivan. It's really super easy to drive. There's a camera up front so you can navigate into parking spaces pretty easily. Reversing is super easy, and the big giant mirrors that are on the Ford Transit make it easy to turn lanes. And what's nice again about having the passenger version is that you have those windows, so you have that visibility out through the rear windows and the side windows when you're changing lanes. It makes it super easy to drive. I mean, I really can't think of anything bad to say about this setup here. The only thing I could really say is that maybe it's a bit short for those really tall people. So if you're like 6'4", 6'5", it might be a little bit more difficult to stand up in this thing, obviously. But laying down, you've got like 6'2" worth of space. So maybe if you're over 6'2" and you're solo, you can sleep diagonally and still make this van work if you're doing like a solo adventure. Again, I just want to say a huge thank you to Recreate Outdoors for loaning the van. And of course, thank you to the National Parks NFT community right here, because that's the only way I was able to get this van is because I won the raffle by entering their NFT community. So if you're into national parks and you like art, join their Discord or check them out on Twitter, and I'll leave the links down below for that. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tour. Make sure to like and subscribe for more van tours. And if you have a van that you want us to tour, send me a message directly through email and we'll get back to you. Especially if you're in the Southern California, Los Angeles area, let me know. Otherwise, take care. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.